To add to this game, the Ozone, if they lose, they are out. Their season is over. Opening throwdown, it's won by the Buzzsaw coming out in the gray. Vincent Bowman underneath the bucket as the stopper for the Ozone, getting his first start of the season. There he goes. Keith McGee make buckets to himself and rolls off the rim.
There was some pretty good touch on that, but I think he's trying to outsmart himself a little bit in that scoring trap. I'd like to see him just take off.
Terrell Howard going up against Vincent Bowman, 6'9", 285, and Ralph Bellamy, our first dunk of the game.
That was a really nice setup by Howard. He's a really great setup man, but he's also leading the league in turnovers because he dominates the ball so much.
Brian Bell Anderson, the last few weeks, has taken his game to a whole nother level.
Definitely, and everybody kept trying to give him kind of dopey nicknames, and one of his teammates just said it the other day, Flying Brian. So I think that's going to stick. Sounds like a 9-year-old made it up.
360, Barnes Jr. off the mark. There's a good stop there by Bowman. We played 20-second shot clocks on each possession.
I actually played with Jamal Barnes Jr.'s dad, and he was a heck of a tough guy. As you see, Jamal lays out Cujo there, Keith McGee. This will be a really nice matchup, but there's a lot of tough guy DNA inside Jamal Barnes Jr.
So that was a violation because the Ozone player left his feet entering the tramps. You cannot touch them once they leave their feet. That'll set up our first face-off of the game. It's when you're fouled, you go one-on-one against the guy who fouls you. We don't shoot those free throws here in SlamBall. We want contact. We want action. Here we go. Keith McGee, as soon as he moves, there goes Jamal Barnes Jr. And the Buzzsaw get the stop on the face-off.
Jamal's pretty excited about that stop. He really elevated there. You see he got the timing right, put his back on the rim, could have got called for drifting there, but you see he comes down in the stopper box. So that's really great body control by Barnes.
After the face-off, the offensive team keeps possession of the ball.
I can just see Vincent Bowman leaking up the floor. He really wants to get involved in the offense.
At 6'9", he could do some damage.
Definitely.
There he goes. They have a chance against Bellamy. Whoa. And look at that reach.
6'9", 285. He is the biggest player in SlamBall, and he's been jonesing for this opportunity to show what he can do.
Bell Anderson came down in the bottom tramp, couldn't finish the jam. Jumps on the loose ball. After it hit the rim, the shot clock reset to 12.
Brian Bell Anderson is kind of our baby-faced assassin, I think. Let's see how he plays tonight in this critical situation. But he's got that kind of vibe.
Shot clock violation. It is a 3-3 ball game here in this first quarter. 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. Once again, 5-minute quarters, running clock. It will only stop on face-offs, and in the fourth quarter, each team will get a timeout. Here's Bellamy. Now you have to throw the ball down or release it midair because you can't jump in the same tramp twice.
Another big stop by Bowman, who, by the way, is the biggest SlamBall player in history at 6'9", 285.
And all that weight, you can tell. Guys can't even bounce with him in there.
No, you see they're pulling back and fading away. You don't usually see that from SlamBall gunners.
1:30 to play here in this first quarter. Get out of here. Huge stop by Scott. Howard coming from the wing the other way, and he just jams it in. 6'3" Buzzsaw on top here in this first quarter.
I love that about Howard's game. He's really patient, and he waits for the play to develop. A lot of handlers aren't doing that very well.
Here's Laquavius Cotton. Leaves the tramp area off the wall, and there's the steal. 1 minute to play here in this first quarter. Outlet pass up ahead is to Bellamy. Finds Abdul Haq cutting. And another steal by the Ozone. Down by 3, 50 seconds to play in this first quarter. Cotton taking all that contact. And the Buzzsaw turning up the intensity here in the first.
This is some beautiful defense early.
Howard off the glass, but they're going to say no.
Yeah, it looks like chewing the tramp, but that was another good example of Howard waiting for the play to develop and taking what the defense gives you. That's something that SlamBall players are still learning.
So they did count the bucket, and it was good for 2 because he didn't put his hand on the rim. 8-3 Buzzsaw lead, 20 seconds, and look who it is, flying Brian Bell Anderson.
Flying Brian, straight out of Toys R Us, that nickname, but I super dig it. I think he could stick in the league just based on that nickname alone.
5 seconds to play in this first quarter. Buzzsaw with a 2-point lead. Howard just puts up a jumper, and it's no good. At the end of the first quarter, it's the Buzzsaw with an 8-6 lead over the Ozone. Trevor Anderson knows his guys need a little comeback here. The Ozone, you must win to keep your playoff hopes alive. For the Buzzsaw, if you win, you've got a chance to lock up the 2 seed and a bye all the way into the semifinals. High above the Las Vegas Strip, you're looking at the Bellagio Fountain. We are not far away on the campus of UNLV inside Cox Pavilion. The last day of the regular season here in SlamBall. We get set for the start of the second quarter. The Buzzsaw, the 2 seed, with an 8-6 lead over the Ozone right now. We play 5-minute running quarters. Alongside Mason Gordon, I'm John Triffin. It's the Buzzsaw in gray. They have the first possession here in the second quarter. Get out of here. Bowman at 6'9" with the block. Pratt coming right back at him. He missed. Loose ball. Who's going to jump on top of it? It's the Buzzsaw. But they called a violation as the Buzzsaw entered the slam zone a little too early after that miss. Here's the stopper. Bowman trying to get in on the offensive end. Cotton, 360, resets off the wall. Flying Brian, get out of here. Scott with the block.
And the Buzzsaw have 3 pure football players on their offense right now. There isn't an organized basketball player among them on the offensive side of the ball right now.
SlamBall is such a beautiful sport, a hybrid of basketball. Obviously, you can see the court configuration. Football, because of all the hits. There's that wipeout. And hockey, you've got the boards, the ball stays in play, no out of bounds. It is incredible.
Oh, and they just missed the timing there. Brian had a great idea trying to catch Keith McGee on the dive cut and just missed the connection. But the Buzzsaw is showing them how to do it. Hopefully the Ozone takes some notes.
Malik Abdul-Haq with a slam. That's good for 3 more points for the Buzzsaw. Cotton enters the bottom tramp, sees the stopper, and he'll reset. Coming in is Gray, and Scott with the wipeout. Batted out, Buzzsaw have it coming the other way. Raymond Taylor flying high, and he's denied by the stopper. But 2 Buzzsaw in the bottom tramp, that's going to be a violation.
Bellamy's got some crazy speed, really crazy speed, and can translate that into height when you hit the tramps.
That is going to be a travel. You're only allowed to stop on that middle pad, which is called the island. If you step on any other black pad, it's out of bounds and a turnover.
In SlamBall, while we're training these guys, whenever somebody makes a mistake like that, they get yelled at by everyone in the gym. Footwork! Because that's what SlamBall is. It's really intricate footwork, and these guys need to get better at it, especially with these playoff implications on the line.
Lay in there for Jamal Barnes Jr. That's a 2 because he didn't put his hand on the rim. Coming back the other way, denied. Huge stop by Scott. When you talk footwork and you're jumping on the tramps, where are your eyes? Are you looking down? Are you looking at the rim? Are you looking for the guy coming at you?
Well, the very best offensive players are watching the feet of the stopper and trying to create a differential. If you have a differential, you can start to go to work and cook. Whoa!
Good adjustment by Keith McGee. Lays it in, didn't put his hand on the rim, so that's a 2, not a 3.
That was an awesome defensive sequence by Marcus Gray right there. Howard trying to put it behind the back, as Gray has seen countless times this season, and he just blows up into his chest.
Bowman getting his first start of the season. Let's see what he could do for the Ozone. Bell Anderson, the coach's son. Fight on the floor, gets it back. Shot clock's at 2. Someone's got to get it up, just a throw up, heave.
And saves the possession. Really nice job there. Marcus is paying
You can see with these big stoppers, guys don't want to challenge them face on, but how about Ralph Bellamy? No fear.
No fear, and that is not Ralph Bellamy's game. He's usually going to the left hand, and Vincent Bowman expected a left hand attack, and then Ralph went right.
Bellamy goes with the left on that one. And they called a violation because Bowman held on the rim. That's illegal. 3 points awarded to the Buzzsaw.
So I have a little bit of inside information here. There was a confrontation between Bowman and Coach Trevor Anderson, and the entire team had to separate them. And the result of that confrontation is that Bowman starts. So that's kind of amazing.
Now, Keenan Love is a little dinged up. His lower back is acting up, so that's why he's may not see him. But yes, you get in the coach's face, maybe get some more playing time.
Maybe. And SlamBall's a bumps and bruises sport. You expect some of these things to happen over time, as you see LaQuavius Cotton just outclassing the Buzzsaw player in the air there.
Yeah, that's what you were calling.
So 3 points for the dunk off the face-off. The Ozone keep possession.
I got it. Marcus.
Yeah, they find themselves down by 8, under 30 seconds to play in this first half.
I think the way the face-off works, where it's almost like the OK Corral a little bit. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. You see one guy's eyes, you see the other guy's eyes, and then they take it right to the rim to settle the beef.
And there's no hiding, right? It's one-on-one. You're going to meet at the rim.
That's what I love about it. And we were doing the face-off from the very first day of SlamBall in the warehouse in East LA on a court made out of spare parts.
Final seconds here in this first half. This is Barnes Jr. Throws it off the backboard, but miscommunication as two Buzzsaw were in the bottom tramp turnover. 1.5 seconds. As soon as the Ozone get the ball, the clock will stop. They got to just get it up. Here's Cotton. He touches it. Here's the heave. And that's how the first half will end. The Buzzsaw with an 8-point lead at the half. It was Ralph Bellamy challenging the big 6'9" stopper. He leads the way with 9 points. Vincent Bowman, he's got 4 stops for the Ozone. As you see Cotton coming the other way, not tonight, says Taekwon Scott. Welcome back inside the Cox Pavilion here in Las Vegas. The Buzzsaw, a 7.5-point favorite. They're up by 8 already here at the half. What's up, everybody? Welcome back here courtside alongside Mason Gordon. I'm John Schriffen. With everything on the line, the Ozone need to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Buzzsaw need to win to try to lock up that 2 seed. It has been intense in that first half.
It's intense, and these two teams have real animosity towards each other. So the scheduling gods have gifted us a great SlamBall game.
If you missed that first half, let's get you caught up. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. The Buzzsaw with an 8-point lead, and Ralph Bellamy went to work early on.
I loved seeing Ralph Bellamy. He went hard to the right, which the stopper didn't expect, and then came back to the left. You've got to be able to dunk with both hands in SlamBall in order to create some differential on the stopper.
And for the Ozone, they find themselves down by 8. Brian Bell Anderson, he got up.
Brian Anderson's parents, Trevor and also his mom, pulled me aside and they were like, Brian Anderson is all in on this. He wants this to be his career. He wants his kids to play it downstream. It's incredible. And you get that kind of bug from SlamBall playing it.
Let's take a look at the first half stats presented by Surfer Resort and Casino. The Buzzsaw with an 8-point lead. Mason, what numbers stand out for you?
Well, I think it's the 8-point differential is really the key here. The Ozone is not executing, and that's really attributed to Taekwon Scott for the Buzzsaw.
Talk about Brian's mom sitting courtside here for this one. Watching Trevor Anderson and then her son, Brian Bell Anderson, on the court. She's excited, hoping this will not be his last game of the season, because if the Ozone lose, they are done.
Yes, and the Ozone, whether their win-loss record reflects it or not, they're kind of a brilliant marketing thing where the audience is just so behind them, and they'll scream, Ozone, Ozone. Marcus Gray giving the crowd something to Ozone about.
Someone's got to contend with the Mob, because the Mob, they are clearly the fan favorite, but everyone else picking things up as the season has gone on, as Terrell Howard lays that one in. That's a 2, not a 3.
And you look at the differential in the score, and it's a bunch of Howard two-pointers that he makes sure to get the score. Whether they miss the dunk, he knows he can get that two-pointer and create efficient offense for his team.
Bell Anderson, he tried that flyby and just ran into the body of Taekwon Scott. Ozone get it back. Here's Cujo, McBuckets, Keith McGee finds flying Brian Bell Anderson. He resets off the wall. The 20-second shot clock, it's down to 10. That's a deep 4, and it rattles in for Keith McGee. It's a 3-point lead for the Buzzsaw. Bellamy, he's denied by Bowman.
Wow, how about that 4 by Cujo? That is the first 4-pointer I've even seen him take this year.
Bell Anderson from the top tramp, and that is blocked by Scott.
I got it.
This is a heck of a stopper matchup. Taekwon Scott, you would think he would be in a different class, but Vincent Bowman has really showed up today.
Bowman at 285 pounds. You can see him just pulling those springs down in that tramp. That's a 4-pointer from the outside. That one in and out from Howard.
Ooh, that's a nice hesitation dribble there, and he wants to take off. He wants to take off. He made the stopper think he was coming down, and then he just smashed it.
LaQuavius Cotton ties this game at 21. Remember the Buzzsaw, they are the betting favorite right now, a 7.5-point favorite according to Circa Resort and Casino. Here comes Bellamy, adjusts midair, lays it in with the right hand. And that ball goes out of bounds, so a turnover back to the Buzzsaw.
And that's a bad outlet pass by Vincent Bowman. It's just he doesn't have enough reps in the game to know exactly where to put this. Put the ball, I should say.
Abdul Haq. He now comes off the bench. He's part of the second unit. He gives them a scoring punch. Look at Bowman, just pulling down the bounce of everyone who comes into that bottom bed.
That's really effective. And 6 out of the 7 Buzzsaw players now all have recorded a hit in the stat book. So they've come out to be physical, specifically physical.
Another bad outlet pass, that one picked off by Taylor. 2 minutes to play here in this third quarter. Taylor, no, excuse me, this is Pratt. And that is punched out by Bowman. Gray from the wing, nothing doing. Taekwon Scott just gobbled that one. Oh, and a huge hit, but Cotton had left his feet entering the tramp, so that's going to be a face-off.
So here you see Bowman, he times it perfectly, elevates up and destroys that shot attempt. And here you see Taekwon Scott is not allowing any easy baskets for the Buzzsaw, which is not the case on the other side of the floor.
So Raymond Taylor's on D, going one-on-one against LaQuavius Cotton. Cotton has a chance to give Ozone their first lead of the ball game with this face-off. Here he goes, one-on-one, and Cotton slams it home. The Ozone take a 1-point lead.
And I just heard Taekwon Scott in this huddle yelling at his team, we need one tramp lobs. Stop going into the bottom tramp and challenging Vincent Bowman. Go at him from the perimeter. I keep preaching this. You need balance in offenses in SlamBall in order to be effective.
Bowman's calling for it. Now they pull him over to set the screen. Bell Anderson from the top tramp couldn't adjust. Why is it important to go from the outside tramps and not the bottom bed?
Because the stopper can just load up for the contact if he knows you're going into the scoring tramp every time. He's thinking about one set of timing. When you're showing him something else from the perimeter tramps, he's got to deal with multiple timings.
In and out, that would have been a 3 for Abdul Haq. There's a collision on the outside. Cotton, he calls for the cutter. Bell Anderson jams it home for 3 more.
So Taekwon Scott asked for one tramp lobs, and Brian Bell Anderson gave one to him from the other team. Not exactly what Taekwon was looking for. You see that whole takeoff. If you get a 15-foot run at the tramp, good things are going to happen for your team.
The Buzzsaw were fouled, so Malik Abdul Haq, he'll go one-on-one on a face-off against LaQuavius Cotton.
And how about the size of these players? This is 6'7" on 6'7".
Abdul Haq out of Seattle. Can he fly? It was Cotton who got the better of that one.
Yeah, I thought they might have gone for the drift. You see Hernando Planels, yes, they got the drifting call. Rob Wilson giving that call to the Buzzsaw.
So drifting is when the stopper, instead of jumping straight up and down, comes out at the offensive player outside of the stopper's box. So 3 points automatically awarded to the Buzzsaw, and they keep the ball after the faceoff.
And when I built the first SlamBall court, the island was actually made out of plywood. So there was no padding there whatsoever. So we had to come up with this drifting rule so that two guys wouldn't land fully on plywood, which would have been a disaster.
What was the best innovation to the game that you really feel like took the SlamBall game to another level?
The face-off, I think, is the thing that creates the personality. Ooh, this is a nice freestyle move. Oh, Flying Brian's got to knock that down. This is a really critical game, and they're running out of time here in the third quarter.
Bellamy, as the Buzzsaw retake the lead with the three-point slam. 12 seconds to play here in this third quarter, and Keith McGee with the shot clock turned off, calling for the screen. He wants to get the final shot. Bell Anderson, clock's now at 3. Bounce down, bottom tramp, and Scott denies that attempt as the Buzzsaw retake the lead with a 2-point advantage after the third quarter. There is so much on the line here in this first game. The biggest, the Ozone. They need to win to make the playoffs. If they lose, their season ends today. One more quarter to play here in Vegas.
Yes, sir. He tired. He tired, coach. One.
Pass me the wing cut in the top, please.
Let me get over here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We appreciate our thanks to Ralph Bellamy for wearing a microphone. Ralph Bellamy, 6'5", gunner out of St. Louis, Missouri. We heard him saying 1-1-1 to his guys who are the handlers. What does that mean?
That's a one-tramp lob where they're asking for you to throw it directly to the rim so that they can take off from the perimeter tramp and smash the ball through. And that creates another opportunity to take advantage of the stopper.
See how much communication plays a part of the offense here, especially for the Buzzsaw. Barnes Jr. bouncing down and jamming it home off the alley-oop as the Buzzsaw, they take a 6-point lead.
That was a nice adjustment in the air. Taekwon Scott at the last break, he was asked, hey man, how are you playing through this game given that you really couldn't lift your shoulder beforehand in warm-ups? And he said, you can't be a baby in this sport.
Oh, how high did Jamal Barnes just get? Now it is actually a 6-point lead for the Buzzsaw.
This is a very dangerous time for the Ozone because Jamal Barnes Jr., Ralph Bellamy, Howard, these guys are dogs and they smell blood right now.
McGee off the backboard to himself. Scott read it out perfectly. Bell Anderson, he'll have to reset off the wall, and there's the steal by Howard. They force a 20-second shot clock violation. There go the Buzzsaw. Howard wasting no time, challenging Bowman, waiting for a cutter, and Jamal Barnes Jr. is there. The Buzzsaw with all the momentum right now.
And assistant coach Sandy Fletcher is screaming at the other box. They're not winners. They're not winners.
It's getting physical out here. This is SlamBall.
Are you not entertained?
That's our first one. Face off. Face off. You okay? See.
Oh, let's go. Oh, let's go. The last day of the regular season, the intensity's gone to a whole nother level.
This is not over. This is a critical face-off. They've got their highest flyer. Brian Bell Anderson, Flying Brian. He's got to recapture the momentum for his squad.
There we go. Goes up and over Howard on his head.
Woo! That is just air superiority Flying Brian levitates and detonates. I didn't time that right, but it was still pretty cool.
So the Ozone try to take some of that momentum back. They keep possession after the face-off, and it's a 5-point possession as McGee lays it in off the window for 2.
McGee is super clever, and Marcus Gray is getting a lot of steals in this game.
Oh, Bell Anderson just missed the handle. Barnes Jr. calls for a cutter. He's got Bellamy, just missed him.
LaQuavia is selling out on the floor.
We approach 2.5 to play here in this fourth quarter. The Ozone needing a win to keep their season alive. Laying it up off the glass, no good. Getting it back is Gray.
But see how Marcus makes sure to get that ball back? He's always thinking about efficient actions on the court.
Scott, another stop.
Oh,
2 in a row.
goodness.
Not tonight. McGee, the jumper off the mark. Substitutes come in off the fly, just like in hockey. Bellamy, the windmill, is stopped by Bowman.
Bowman's got a good little technique going down there. He's turning his shoulder in order to make these blocks.
That could have been a huge one, just missed by Barnes Jr. A 4-point lead for the Buzzsaw. Bell Anderson trying to catch his breath, freestyling to himself from the top. Tramp, adjustment air. Hey now.
Brian Mitt was missing a lot of that in the first half, but in the fourth quarter, in crunch time, he's getting it done.
For Bell Anderson, he leads all scorers with 15 points now. As the Buzzsaw lead is cut to 1. Abdul Haq just tipped. Another block by Bowman. McGee with a chance. One-on-one against Scott. And Tyquan Scott again, the eraser.
Tyquan Scott has impressed me so much tonight. I mean, he is a world-class stopper back there. And Keith McGee had a full run at him, and Tyquan was not going to give up that bucket.
Bellamy off the lob from Taylor, and the Buzzsaw lead is now pushed to 4. Under a minute to play. Here comes Gray. He'll settle on the island. He has 2 cutters coming in, and they wiped each other out. Gray resets off the wall. 20-second shot clock is down to 5. Off the window, no good. Gray trying to get it back, bat it out. It's Taylor coming away with it, and head coach Hernando Planels Jr. says, hold it up. We've got the clock on our side. Taylor. Instead, a violation.
Travel. They got to travel on the island, it looks like.
Now the clock is continuing to run. They stop it as they're going to reset the possession. 20 seconds to play with the Ozone down by 4.
You call the timeout? Okay. You call the timeout? Because the clock runs. It's not stopping your play.
So Trevor Anderson wants to know why the clock was still running. They're asking him, if you're going to call a timeout, it'll stop. If not, the clock continues to run. And he says, all right, I got to stop it. He uses his only timeout here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and this is really a critical possession. Obviously, there's just seconds left in the game, but there is time for a score and then the break and take it foul, which you can take inside of 20 seconds
them up high.
if you're down.
You know a
And if
screen
you
is
stop
coming.
that face-off,
Screen is going to
then
come.
in a very
They're going to use
dramatic
BA
shift,
as a
get
decoy,
the
and then
ball for
Marcus
one last
is going to
possession
come
going
around.
the
We've
other
got to do a good job of holding them off as much as we can. Single coverage, all right? I want you on Keith. I'm going to put him on Keith. Okay. I'm going to put you on Marcus. Go. Go to work there.
And as soon as we get a bucket, foul's coming down. It's got to be 0. No, it's got to be 0.
They're in break it, take it, but you are not. It's the team that's down.
Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win.
Let's go. The Ozone find themselves down by 4.
You guys are in break.
They're a 7.5-point underdog, according to Circa Resort and Casino. But for them, all they care about is winning this game. They need a win to get into the playoffs. They're in 7th place right now. The top 6 teams will make the playoffs starting on Tuesday.
Interesting to see if Coach Trevor Anderson sets up a 4-point shot here for LaQuavia Cotton.
Ryan Bell Anderson from the top tramp slams it home, and it's a 1-point game. Now they're going to foul immediately. They foul Howard, and that's going to set up the break it, take it. Mason, you just explained it. This is where the game could shift.
Yeah, so in the face-off, normally the offensive team gets the ball back, but if they stop it here, if they break it, then they take it going the other way. So you've got Marcus Gray, a terrific defender, going up against Howard, who doesn't have the same type of elevation that some of his teammates have.
This could be for the game. Terrell Howard, one-on-one. Oh, what a stop! But did Gray drift? Yes, he did. A violation called against the Ozone. 3 points awarded to the Buzzsaw.
No, he comes right out down in the box. That's crazy. That's a shame. I would have seen that differently.
Trevor Anderson's trying to argue his case. But if they foul again, they could force another break it, take it. So it's actually not over yet. It's still just a 4-point game with that 4-point shot on the floor.
That's correct. Because the score is so close, another break it, take it would cause the same situation.
So this time it's a timeout called by the Buzzsaw. And let's listen in to Hernando Planels Jr.
Here to here. So you guys start shooting. We really want to get the ball to here. Ralph, when Jamal goes, you're coming here and coming all the way to here. Okay? Ty, you're coming right here. Just in case. We're looking for this. And then, now, Ralph, if Jamal gets here, I need you to come back and come here. So we get this pass over. Again, 10 seconds. It should, but they're going to foul right away. All right, so actually, you know what? Don't start here, Jamal. Start here to here. Let's make this pass get some time off. Got it? Let's go.
How about Raymond Taylor? Getting some beef jerky, some old trapper. Refueled in that last timeout, needs some protein.
John, is portable protein. That's what you need in SlamBall. You've got to be able to fuel your body at the most opportune times in a competition like this.
Hernando Planels Jr. getting refueled after he gave his last piece of advice in that last timeout to his Buzzsaw guys. He knows they're going to get fouled immediately with just 10.3 seconds to play.
And you can see Coach Trevor Anderson is in the face of the official. In the face of the official. And this has been something
we made a mistake. Well, you made a mistake again.
I'm not saying Trevor Anderson has a lot of extra.
You can't foul this guy because we hand him the ball.
But a great smile.
You can foul anybody you want.
So what they're basically arguing about is who they can foul. Trevor Anderson wants his guys to foul the inbounder, and the refs are basically explaining to him that that's not legal. You have to foul somebody else without the ball.
That's correct.
So they're going, and they're going to foul immediately Ralph Bellamy.
We got to break it, take it.
It's now 8.2 seconds to play, and that forces a break it, take it.
And remember, Ralph Bellamy is the guy we talked about earlier in the first half. He can go huge extension right hand, huge extension left hand. That is a lot of ground to cover as a defender, and it's very, very difficult to stop.
All right, here's what's on the line. If Ralph Bellamy slams it home, this game is essentially over. The Ozone, their season would be done. If you get the stop for the Ozone, your season rolls on. Here's Bellamy, and that's game time. The Ozone, their season is over, and the Buzzsaw are inching closer to wrapping up that 2 seed.
I think that might have done it. Ralph Bellamy didn't elect for the huge reaching right-hander or left-hander. He went for the two-hand double windmill, and you gotta like that.
It's now a 2-possession game as the Buzzsaw will dribble it out, and that'll do it. They did not cover the spread. The spread was 7.5. So once again, the underdog covered. But more importantly for the Buzzsaw, they get the win. They inch closer to wrapping up that 2 seed with a 47-40 win. And this was the bucket that put it away. Ralph Bellamy off the faceoff.
Two-hand, full extension, down by his knees. You see, you got to move the ball around so the defender can't get a bead on it.
All hugs around, and you gotta love to see this. It was a war for 20 minutes, but these guys are dapping each other up, and if you're the Ozone, nothing to be embarrassed about. It was an outstanding season. Unfortunately, it will come to the end for the Ozone. A big reason was because of Tyquan Scott as the stopper, and he is standing by with Sean Inches Jackson.
Tyquan Scott, man, outstanding performance. Wonderful stop, 9 blocks, man, to put you guys in the qualified finals, man. Hey, wonderful job. Talk to me about it.
I mean, like I said in the first interview, man, we're going to come in and get everything done. It's like a regular day to us, you know what I'm saying? We got to execute, come in strong, and finish out strong. That's it.
What we talked about yesterday, you was injured. We talked about this after the game. We didn't know if you was going to be able to play. Look at you now. You got the Buzzsaws out of it, into the finals, into the playoffs, and you got the Ozones out. Great job.
Listen, man, I was down and bad last game, and I wasn't sure I was going to play like you were saying, but I had to bring it out of me, you know what I'm saying? I know my team needs me, and I would never give up on them, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said in the beginning, we the dogs you don't find in the vet. So, you know what I'm saying? I ain't in the vet. I'm out here playing with my guys.
Congratulations, man.
Of course, thank you.
We the dogs you don't find in the vet. I kind of like that one.
I mean, stamp that as a meme right now, but what is Sean talking about, the qualified playoffs? I don't even know what that is, but really happy for the Buzzsaw. They did really, really well.
The Buzzsaw, with the win, they move to 9-5 on the season. That means the Slashers would have to win the game next and the main event to have a chance to catch them for second. Lava Slashers, it's coming up next.